Hey guys, Josh Henkin here, creator of the Ultimate Sandbag Core Fitness Program. What I want to discuss with you today is how you can use sandbags to enhance other types of lifts. A lot of people are into kettlebells right now, and kettlebells are great tools. However, people look at our bags and go, kind of an either-or situation. Do I use sandbags or kettlebells? The truth of the matter is they're very complementary, and we're going to show you how. So one of the core lifts that you can do with a kettlebell is a kettlebell swing. So Jim here is going to demonstrate a two-handed kettlebell swing. So we'll do about 5 reps, Jim. So the whole idea of the kettlebell swing is to develop power in the lower body. The snap of the hips and driving the weight into the ground is what propels the weight up. Nice, Jim. And relax. So the problem is that from a coaching perspective, there's lots of issues that people can have. They can have a lot of problems activating those hamstrings and glutes. They can be slow with the weight. So what we've done is we're going to use 4 different ultimate sandbag drills to enhance our kettlebell lift. So what we're going to start with is one of my favorite drills that, again, a lot of people ignore, is the rotational deadlift. So with the bag to his side, Jim's going to pivot his opposing foot. He's going to drive through this hip, come up very tall, pause, so he's driving on the ground, then rotate again. The reason this has good transfer to the kettlebell swing is, A, we're mobilizing the hip. Internal rotation is something we're usually weak at, so having that mobilization frees up our hips so we're a little more stable. Secondly, it's almost impossible to do a backlift with this because we would see his hips come up first and round his back. So if we cue him to always have a straight back, he's going to be using his hips, so he's going to really learn how to drive into the ground. Excellent, Jim. Thank you. The other problem that people can have with the kettlebell swing is that they're squatters, meaning that they don't hinge at the hips and they don't use the glutes and the hamstrings. So another great exercise is the bear hug good morning with the ultimate sandbag. So he's going to clasp around, bring it up to his chest, getting nice and tight. He's now going to think about pushing his hips back, slight bend the knees, keeping a nice strong chest. The great thing is that if he didn't hinge at the hips, he'd basically fall forward. So this makes you sit back. So I can draw an invisible line if we turn Jim to the side for a second, down his side so that you can actually see how his hips transition back. With his weight on his heels, I just have to cue him to press through his heels, now push his hips forward and clench his glutes at the top. The weight of the bag actually pushes him back to give him some feedback upon where he is in space. And dump it, Jim. Nice job. So now we're going to move to a lighter bag so we can do a little more movement-oriented drills. The first one we're going to do is our infamous rotational lunge. Again, one of those drills that does so much. What we're going to do is we're going to step back and rotate to one side. So a couple things happening here. One is we're opening up his hips. So having more freedom in the hips is going to allow him to develop more power, especially in the hip extension mode. Secondly, we're having the rotational movement stabilize his pelvis. So a lot of people lack lateral stability. Improving this will make him more stable for more sagitally plane dominant exercises such as swings and squats and deadlifts. Lastly, he's getting a lot of lower leg stimulation, so he's basically exciting the nervous system to do the power movement, so he's going to be more stable and more apt to press it into the ground. So we're going to do one more. Perfect. Now normally you do both sides, but for the sake of the video, we're going to go right into our last drill, which is our rotational high pull. Now people may say, what's the difference between this and the deadlift? So now we're developing more power. So now we're getting Jim to think about really exploding off of the ground, and he's having to learn how to decelerate the weight to the other side. So a little less than our half moon snatch, this is just getting across the body. So the nice thing is you can gradiate the force depending upon how high you bring the bag. You see the nice rotation of the hips happens as an application into the ground by the feet. So unfortunately, not a healthy cue, but a very good one is to think about putting a cigarette out on the ground. And relax. So by using these 4 drills, when you go back to your kettlebell swings, you're going to find that you should feel more rooted in the ground and more explosive with the lift. You can use any one of these as an alternate superset. So you can do swings, you can do bear hug good mornings, swings, bear hug good mornings, or you can use them as a mini circuit right before your kettlebell workout. So check out these workouts and more at HenkinFitnessSystems.com.